Happy Friday, all my beautiful angels. Welcome back to my channel. It's me, your girl Shyla, here with another video. I hope that you guys have all had an amazing week. I hope that some of you got to go do something fun. I'd like to say I did something fun, but I really didn't. I haven't made it to that point of having excess money to do anything fun yet. But this week was like my first paycheck that I've gotten like a year. So it was like a big, real big thing for me. I'm really excited to be back on the path to financial security. Does that make me sound like super adult? Sometimes you just have to adult. Anyway, I have a rolling cat down here when I feel attack my foot. Anyway, today's video is going to be kind of fun. Today we are going to be doing a little story time about something that happened kind of recently when a male porn star slid into my DMs. Before you go though, take a second, like the video, subscribe to the channel. Also don't forget to hit the little bell button, that way you're notified whenever I post a new video. If you're new here, I post every Tuesday. That's changed now. Every Tuesday, every Friday. Occasionally I'll post on a different day. Just depends on, you know, if life gets in the way. But with the bell button turned on, you will be notified whenever I post a new video. And as usual, if you're a returning subscriber, I appreciate every single one of you. Also, don't forget to check out my Instagram. Post on my Instagram daily. Post stories, post questions, post polls. Hopefully I could get some of you signing up that some following me that like aren't creepy and will actually send me like good questions and whatnot for Q&As. Never fails whenever I post any type of a Q&A on there. Anytime boys see like a Q&A, they just view that as a please DM me, check your DMs, I messaged you, I love you. It's never in response to anything constructive to what I was asking for though. Anyway, getting into the story. This won't be too terribly long, but first thing I want to tell you is that I am going to be talking about certain things that some of you may or may not want to see, so for any younger viewers, or you may not want to hear, or you might want to exit out now. It won't be too terribly graphic though, because it's not that bad. Anyway, it is kind of funny. Anyway, still got the cat going down here. Anyway, this happened recently. I'm not going to name names as usual because I am not about putting anyone on blast or anything about that life. So we're just going to refer to him as Billy again, like we did in the last one, because that's my go-to name, Billy. So this happened recently. I started getting all these likes from someone from Billy and I was like, wait, I wonder if this is the actual person. Now I'm going to just throw it out there right now. Yes, I do enjoy porn occasionally. Who doesn't? And I don't really watch it so much anymore. I used to watch it a lot more before I had my surgery. Like I said, I haven't really felt the same type of urges like I did before surgery, so I don't really watch it that much anymore. But I have watched it on occasion, and this person, Billy, that slid into my DMs wasn't just some random actor. It was someone that I actually know of, and someone that I've actually watched, and someone that I kind of, you know, crush on. Whatever, that's like, ooh, look at... Anyway. That's besides the point. Anyway, so he slid into my DMs and he was like, hey, how's it going? I like your body. And I'm like, oh, really? Mine? And, you know, blushing and, you know, that whole thing. Anyway, so it was like, you know, we were talking a little bit. We were chatting and he was like, you know, are you married? And I'm like, no. And he's like, do you live alone? And I was like, no, I live with my son. For those of you that don't know, yes, I have a son. He's 17. He's never in any of my social media stuff because he hates social media and refuses to be in any of my social media stuff. I was like, and he was like, do you live alone? I was like, no, I live with my son. He was like, oh, really? How old is he? So I told him, I was like, you know, he's 17, you know, just is what it is. I'm a parent. That's how it goes. And, you know, we were chatting, asking about where I live, where he lives, etc., etc., etc. And then he started complimenting me, etc., etc., etc. And every time I got a compliment, I was like, and I keep looking because my cat's roaming around. I'm trying to make sure he's not getting too close to the camera because we all remember what happened last time. And if I have to toss him out of here, I will. Anyway, and we were talking about, you know, he's complimenting me, and every time he complimented me, I was like, oh my God. Anyway, that being said, so then he messaged me. The last thing that he messaged me one night was, and the messaging went on for like, you know, several days. The last thing he messaged me was, hey, I want to come visit you. And I was like, oh, where did that point? And I was like, okay, well, I was like, I mean, if you come to Reno, you know, we can get together, but it's not like, you know, nobody's gonna be coming and staying with me. I live with my son. My son would love that, some random guy showing up here. Anyway. Sorry, I keep getting distracted. I'm keeping an eye on the cat. I love the puma. He's over there cackling at birds now. You may hear him at some point. Anyway, so back to what I was saying before I got distracted by the puma. So he was saying he wanted to come live with me. So I was like, okay, or he wanted to come see me. So I was like, okay, so if we're gonna be at that point, if he's actually thinking about coming here, I better, like, you know, I'm not about living that deceptive life. So I was like, hey, you know, I make this pretty obvious in all my social medias, but a lot of people can't figure it out for some reason. So I'm like, hey, you know, I'm a trans girl, right? And that was like the last thing I sent him one night. And then, so the next morning I woke up to, yeah, that's what I'm trying to figure out. And I was like, I didn't really understand that. So I was like, okay, what are you trying to figure out? Maybe I can help. And he sends me back, hold on, let me look, because I don't want to misquote anything. Sends me back, figure out you're male, transgender. So I sent him back, no, I'm a trans girl, so I'm no longer a boy, I'm a girl. And then I sent it back, you know, just at that point, you know, because I want to let everyone, I don't want to hold it against anyone. Everyone has their own preferences. And if he didn't realize it, he didn't realize it, whatever. So I said, I don't want there to be any awkward miscommunications later. So I'd rather you just know now, if you're not interested, it's cool. No big deal. I get it if it's not your thing. Because that's just how it is. Some people just aren't into it. And you should never hold anybody, you should never hold anyone accountable for how, I don't know if that's the right word, for their own personal interests and desires. Anyway, so he sends me a question. Send me something. Haven't been with a transgender. And I was like what? And this was all going on during the same day. And I was like what? And he said, you're transgender. Which didn't really answer the question of like, what do you want me to send you? Like, what are you asking for? And so he sent me, you're transgender. And I said, I am. And that was like our final text at like 8:30 at night, because this went on like all day. So finally at that point, the, you know, the balloon had popped. And at that point I was just like, okay, I'm not into being with someone that's not like really into it, and seems like they're having an issue, because this went on for like an entire day talking about me being transgender and not really going anywhere with it, just like him repeating the same thing and like not even really having an answer to it. And I'm not really with someone that's like, ooh, maybe I could try it, you know, I don't know if I'm really into that. I'm not into being with someone like that. I don't want to be their first. I don't want to be their curiosity. I want to be with someone that just sees me as a girl and wants to be with me because they're a girl. Just how it is. So I sent him back. It's cool. I get that you didn't realize it. And I felt like he was just trying to be diplomatic about it and not be like, you know, a bad person, because I don't really think that he is. And I don't think he really meant to be like anything rude or anything. So I was like, it's cool. I get that you don't realize it. You know, it's not what you're into. No hard feelings. You know, have a fantastic weekend and take care of yourself, because like I said, whatever, it is what it is. So here's where it turns. So the next day I wake up to a post, a comment back of, I realized you were transgender, but when you said you live with your son, it changed my mind. And I'm like, whoa, wait a minute. So even though the whole conversation the day before was about me being transgender, and it seemed to be like this big thing, the real kicker of it was that I am a parent, and not a deadbeat parent, a parent that actually, and let's not say a deadbeat parent. Let's not say that, because, you know, I'm sure there's parents that don't live with their kids and they're not deadbeats. So let's not say that. I am not a parent that, the kicker was that I'm a parent that actually lives with my son all the time. Because that's really what a parent, or any parent, girl or boy, wants to hear, that that's really the reason why, what made him change. So anyway, again, I don't think it's a matter of him wanting to be seen that he wasn't into me because I'm transgender, but it was a really, really poor choice of excuses that he chose for that. He could have chose like, excuse me, like so many other things, and it would have sounded better, as opposed to, I'm not into you because you live with your child. Anyway, and then he put, no, I'm okay with that because, you know, there's a, you know, in between your legs. Which is what most guys care about, unfortunately. A lot of guys really, really care to see A lot of guys really care that you've had that surgery. Just is what it is. Doesn't mean that's the type of boys that you should go out with, but a lot of boys feel that way. You know, like the boys that say that they wouldn't get with you until after you had the surgery. You have to decide for yourself if that's the kind of boy that you want to be with. And so I, of course, sent back to be diplomatic back with him. Well, yeah, silly. I'm a parent. Of course, he lives with me. That's why they make hotels. Because it's not like I would be having him come here even if he did come here. But at the same time, the part about me having him, you know, in between my legs wouldn't have mattered because I watch his movies. I know what's going on down there. And that isn't going anywhere near what I've got going on down there. Because my girl is not going to be able to accommodate that. Ain't gonna happen. Anyway, so that was pretty much the end of it. He sent me, after that he sent me like a couple days later, said, send me something. And I'm like, again, he said the same thing. I'm like, what do you mean? He's like, nude. I'm like, oh yeah, I don't send nudes. That is not me. I'm sorry. And he sent me that, you know, being nude every day is like just a thing to him, so it's no big deal. And I'm like, well, I mean, I get that, but for me, it is a thing. And so anyway, that was pretty much the end of it. So that is my story. We didn't meet. To be honest with you, after the whole day of talking about transgender, it wouldn't really mattered what he said at that point. Even if he said he was cool with it, it was obvious that it was an issue that entire day, and that just kind of turned me off towards it. So kind of one of those things where you meet someone that you kind of, you know, have a crush on, and the whole thing, the whole balloon bubble just pops, and then you really don't anymore. This is, again, just another example why I don't really respond to boys at DMs, because I get this kind of stuff that happens. Anyway, that's my story. I hope that you guys liked it. Again, I'm not going to name any names. If you have any questions down below, go ahead and leave questions, but I'm not going to leave any names down there. So other than that, if you want to see more like this, I will try and find more good stories, you know, try to think of more stories that have gone on, you know, or let you know about stories that happen to post for you guys. Other than that, have a good weekend, and I will see you back on Tuesday with another video. Love you all.